He just wanted to be invisible, but the school idol had other plans for him. Major spoilers ahead for the entire season. Okay, so, our guy Maki Maehara is the definition of a background character. He is quiet, he is solitary, and he likes it that way. But his entire world tilts on its axis when Umi Asanagi, who is easily the second prettiest girl in school and basically royalty in the classroom, suddenly decides to take an interest in him. She is the center of attention, and he is a total nobody, but they start hanging out anyway. He is sure it is just a misunderstanding. But the catch is that the more time they spend together, the blurrier the line between friends and something else becomes. It is a slow burn that is filled with social anxiety, genuine laughter, and the kind of tension that makes your heart skip. I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class, keeps the pressure on the main character as every choice reshapes what comes next. The story kicks off when Umi decides to break the ice with Maki, completely bypassing the social hierarchy of the classroom. At first, Maki is terrified. He thinks he is being pranked or that she is just bored, because why would someone as radiant as Umi ever want to spend time with someone who hides in the back row? They start small, talking about nothing and everything, and it is here where you see the first cracks in his defensive walls. Umi isn't just looking for attention. She is looking for someone genuine, someone who doesn't treat her like a trophy. She is tired of the fake friendships and the constant eyes on her, and she finds a sanctuary in Maki's normalcy. They find a rhythm, but for Maki, the stress of being seen with her is almost too much to handle, and his struggle to act normal around her becomes the central conflict of their new world. This is where the anime earns its pacing, tension, payoff, and reveals built on what already happened. Things get complicated the moment their classmates start talking. It is an absolute nightmare for Maki. He is suddenly the subject of intense gossip, and he has to learn how to deal with the jealousy and the confusion from everyone who thinks they understand his relationship with Umi better than he does. Umi, however, seems completely unbothered. She doubles down on their friendship, taking him to places he would never go alone and introducing him to parts of her life that even her close friends don't see. You really start to see her character arc here. She is using Maki as a way to find her own identity outside of the school idol image. It is messy, and there are plenty of awkward misunderstandings, but the trust between them is growing into something that feels really, really solid despite the outside noise. The climax of their friendship arrives during a series of school events that force them to interact in front of everyone. The social pressure mounts until Maki is pushed to his limit. He wonders if he is really meant to be by her side, or if he is just an accessory to her life. There is a brutal moment where he tries to pull away to protect her reputation, but Umi calls him out on his insecurity in a very direct way. It is a massive pivot point for them. She tells him exactly why she chose him, and it hits hard. He realizes that he has been looking at their friendship from the perspective of an outcast rather than an equal. He begins to stand taller, taking ownership of their bond, and it is honestly the most satisfying character growth we have seen in a long time. As the season draws to a close, they are no longer just the idol and the outcast. They have created their own private bubble that feels unbreakable. But there is still the lingering question of those hidden feelings. Are they in the friend zone, or are they just afraid to speak the truth? We see them at a crossroads. They have navigated the rumors, dealt with the social hierarchy, and found a shared language that only they understand. The final stretch is all about that mounting anticipation. You know it is coming, they know it is coming, but they are both terrified that moving to the next level will ruin the sanctuary they have built. It is a masterclass in tension, keeping the audience right on the edge of their seats until the final frame while setting up the inevitable confrontation with their own desires. In the final episodes, they are forced to confront the fact that their relationship cannot stay stagnant forever. The rest of the class begins to view them as an inseparable pair, which brings a new layer of expectations and potential drama. Maki is learning to handle the spotlight, while Umi finds herself becoming more vulnerable and open. They realize that their bond has become the most important part of their daily lives, and the thought of losing it is more terrifying than the prospect of making a move. They spend their quiet moments testing the waters, inching closer toward a truth they haven't dared to name aloud. It is a slow, methodical build that forces the viewer to root for them even when they make mistakes. The path forward is filled with potential, but the risk of rejection hangs over every decision they make as the season finale approaches. This series is so much more than just a rom-com. It is a story about the masks we wear in high school and the courage it takes to drop them. Maki and Umi have fundamentally changed each other's trajectories. Maki is no longer afraid to be seen, and Umi is finally learning how to be authentic without worrying about the spotlight. The beauty of their arc is that it is earned. They didn't just fall into a relationship, they built it brick by brick through conflict and conversation. They are now officially in uncharted territory. The next season has the massive job of addressing the feelings they have been dancing around for 12 episodes, and the stakes have never been higher for their emotional stability. Their friendship has become their anchor, and watching it potentially transform into something more is going to be an emotional roller coaster. The season ends with them closer than ever, but still miles away from an actual confession. Subscribe to join us for the next part of their journey and see if Maki can finally take that leap of faith. You definitely don't want to miss the fallout when they finally stop hiding what they really feel, as the tension is only building to a massive breaking point. Catch you in the next recap, and make sure those notifications are turned on so you are the first to hear when their story continues.